Hi everyone, I'm Adrian Rowe, and today we will be having a thorough look at the Leapmotor C10, very generously lent to us by William Simpson Cars. We'll be having a look at a few features, the interior, the exterior and so forth, but before we do any of that, we're going to take her for a lovely drive. Okay, so here we are driving along in the Leapmotor C10, which I will say is quite a thoroughly enjoyable experience. I'm a genuine petrol head, which is what my wife calls me. Petrol in my head, diesel in my veins, and lately electricity in my heart, because it's my first experience with an electric vehicle and thoroughly enjoying it. You might see by my grey hair that I'm not a youngster, which means we survived riding in buckies without seat belts. We drank water from hose pipes and thorough beatings from our moms for being disrespectful. But yeah, at the end of the day, that really just means that I've been around the motor industry for a long time. It's an absolute passion of mine. I live, eat, sleep, drink, think cars and anything petrol, diesel, and now electric driven. So far with the Leapmotor, we're going to leap into the new year in 2026 with this stunning car. So we're climbing into the Leapmotor. It's quite a pleasant surprise that is absolutely minimalist. There's no gauges and gadgets all over the show, and buttons and levers like in so many other older vehicles. The steering wheel itself is very Tesla-esque, with the buttons that are here, that's customizable as well. There is occasionally a few little bings and bongs from the monitor watching my eyes here, which doesn't bother me in the least, because it's actually a really good safety feature. So, you know, one doesn't realize that you're driving potentially a lethal weapon. So keeping your eyes on the road and being reminded to every so often by the electronic nanny is not a bad thing. It's actually quite appreciated. I'm sure your passengers will appreciate it too. The seating is very comfortable. The view I've got is excellent, and no complaints there. The guys have done a sterling job with the Leapmotor. I'm finding that the suspension is a happy medium between soft and firm. You know, some of the vehicles that I've driven before have got this very boat-like wallowy effect, which is a little unsettling. Finding the Leapmotor really enjoyable in that respect. It's comfortable, it's firm enough, the steering giving more than enough feedback, direct enough, and not in any way vague. It's really nice, comfortable power steering. The gearbox I can't even talk about, because driving an electric car, or in this instance we're calling it a REEV car, which means range extending electric vehicle, is a whole new experience. So I can't even talk about a gearbox, because you've just got the effect of stepping on the gas and the car just moves ahead. There's no sound, there's no fuss, there's no noise to be heard. It essentially feels like you're being pulled along by an elastic band, which is a great feeling. So yes, absolutely quiet, absolutely enjoyable. My visibility is excellent from the front and all around. One particular thing I do enjoy is that the fact that I can see the bonnet of the car. A lot of vehicles you drive today, you can't see the bonnet at all, so it gives you that feeling of perspective, that you can get a feeling of where the ends of the vehicle are. The engine does fire up once in a while when the battery is getting a bit low, or when you're going up a hill. I will say that in most cases you can't hear it at all. It's just a slight humming sound. Very often I think it's another vehicle making a sound. So very quiet. The seating in the car is super comfortable. We've been driving for quite a while now. I don't feel any discomfort whatsoever. I can get into my seating position comfortably. I'm 6'2", and there's more than enough space. So yeah, all around a very enjoyable experience. Overtaking with the car, no problem at all. There's more than enough power. The battery, or should I say the electric motor, delivers 158 kilowatts, which is more than sufficient. The torque of the electric motor is 320 Newton meters, more than enough. Beauty of an electric motor is that you get all your torque from the word go. So there's no scenario of like a petrol or diesel motor where you've got to get up to a certain RPM before you start feeling the torque. You know, we're going up a hill now, giving a little bit of gas, and it's just carrying on as per normal. No feeling of any lag or lack of power whatsoever. Gone are the days of what we would call in a typical electric car range anxiety. So you can climb in the car, go wherever you want, and when power gets or petrol gets low, you just put in more petrol. So there's no concerns about that. Your range that you have with the battery pack is approximately 145 kilometers. If you drive a regular cycle, say for example you drive 10 or 20 k's to work and back every day, you might have to only charge the battery once a week. But even that said, you still do not have a concern about range. So if you want to take the car out on the weekend, go as far as you want, you should get up to 970 k's. I'm currently looking at the fuel consumption figure on the screen here. We're doing a lot of testing, accelerating, which would be typically, one could say, quite harsh or heavy city driving, and we're getting 6.7 liters per 100 k's, which that is actually really good. When you're looking at a big, comfortable vehicle like this, that is actually really good fuel consumption. I would reckon on the open road you might get closer to 17-18 kilometers per liter, which is absolutely phenomenal. There's two versions of the Leapmotor C10. There's a more affordable one, if I could say. The price on that one is 759,900, and the one we are currently driving is 799,900. The main difference between the lower price model and the higher price model is 18-inch wheels versus 20-inch wheels. This one has got the full panoramic roof and heated and cooled seats. Those are your main differences, although heated and cooled seats are nice to have, but it doesn't really bother me that much when you've got a very effective air conditioning system. The warranty on the vehicle is 5 years or 100,000 kilometers, which covers basically everything. Your service plan is 5 years and 100,000 kilometers, and they do offer 24-hour roadside assist during that warranty period as well. Looking at the outside of the Leapmotor C10, we've got a few design elements to look at. First thing I noticed was your A, B and C pillar are blacked out, giving the car a really sleek look. Darkened mirror covers, giving a nice sporty look to the vehicle. 20-inch wheels shod with 245 tires. The lower price model comes with an 18-inch wheel, which gives you a thicker, fatter rubber, which is going to give you an even more soft and comfortable plush ride. One aspect I often look at in vehicle design is this section here, which most people don't notice, but to me it's a big deal. Reason being, for manufacturers to get this section right is really challenging. In other words, your A pillar, your door, your front fender and your bonnet or hood, as some people call it, to get all those shut lines and that element right is really challenging. Something that I really admired on this car is they got it perfectly right. Another thing I noticed on many vehicles is that your fender and your front bumper colors don't match. Reason being, paint is sprayed on a black background, paint is sprayed on a metal background. So there's often a very distinct mismatch in colors there. On the Leapmotor, you don't see that. That tells a lot about build quality on this vehicle. Beautiful smooth lines, xenon lights with self-dimming, so you're not having a concern of having to dim your lights at night time. To unlock the car, they give you a key, touch on the mirror, and the car locks or unlocks with the mirrors folding in, which is great for shopping malls where people tend to damage your vehicles. Moving further back around the car, this is your fuel door, which is on the driver's side, no problem with that. If we look at the rear of the vehicle, some of you will notice that it's got a very much Porsche Cayenne look, which is really in trend with of the look of vehicles today. Here is your charge door. Now what most people don't tell you, AC means charging at home, DC means public charging, so everything is provided for that. Here we have the boot of the Leapmotor C10. real spacious. Seats can fold down, plenty of extra space if you want to fold down the seats. The reason I've left these cables here is to show you what is given to you with the car. So here's your DC charging cable. If you go to a charge station, you're going to need those. You want to charge it at home, you're going to need this cable here. So when you go to that DC charging station, do not lose that cable. It's going to cost you a pretty penny to replace. Under the floor of the car, we have a space saver steering wheel, which is great. A lot of companies don't give that. Also, there's a tire repair kit. So yes, plenty of space there. Here we have the motor of the Leapmotor C10. It is a 1.5 litre 4-cylinder petrol engine delivering 63 kilowatts. By modern standards, it doesn't seem like so much, but keep in mind that this is a generator only. So you've got an onboard power pack to charge your battery and to keep your motor running. So no connection between this and the wheels whatsoever. This is what's called an Atkinson cycle engine, developed in 1882 by James Atkinson. The whole purpose of this engine is to deliver much better fuel economy. The downside is that you lose a little bit of power, but ideal for hybrids and this type of vehicle that needs to charge the battery. Getting on board and into the Leapmotor C10, you're provided with a card which not only opens on the mirror, but once you want to fire up the car and get going, just put it down here. The car will sense it's there. It doesn't have to stay there. You can take it out and put it back in your pocket. You put it there, put your foot on the brake, and the car is ready to go. So from there on, it's just a matter of putting it in gear. On your stalk on the right, on the left you've got your indicators and wiper functions. On the right is your gear. Foot on the brake, put it in drive, and off you go. There's absolutely no sense of noise or anything like that. The car just moves forward in dead silence. The car comes with two screens, a huge screen here in the middle, which is ideal for yourself and for the passenger to use. A little info screen in the front, which gives you your speed, your gear, your driving distance on fuel and on battery, as well as a little map. So all your important functions will be there. I would recommend that you spend some time with your dealer, at least an hour or so, going through all the map functions, the navigation functions, lighting, everything. There is so much you can do on this car. It is absolutely phenomenal. You can change the color of your interior lighting. You can do absolutely everything. The only thing I would have maybe welcomed in this car is a volume control, a physical volume control somewhere here in the middle, as you can only do adjust your volume with the dial on the steering wheel. When we look at the roof, you've got a huge sunroof, which, like I mentioned earlier, does not open physically, which is maybe a good thing. Another small oversight, nothing serious, is that you have to adjust your rear view mirror manually for bright lights from the rear. The seats are super comfortable. They're made of a material called silicon leather, which in my opinion is perhaps an oxymoron, contradictory to itself, because is it leather, is it silicon? But be that as it may, very comfortable. Driver's seat electrically adjustable, as is the passenger seat. Sitting in the back of the Leapmotor C10, super comfortable. First off, you've got privacy glass, no one can see you from the outside. Seats are really comfortable. They can tilt a little bit back for added comfort. You've got an armrest, you've got cup holders here, you've got charge ports in the back here as there are in the front. ISOFIX points, 3 headrests, so a real big focus on safety. But for me, the main thing is the comfort and the level of space you've got. I'm 6'2". I've got my comfortable seating position in front of me, and I've got probably 15 centimeters ahead of my knees at the back here. So really, really comfortable. You're going to look really hoity, really toity driving around in this car. I've left the best for last. Okay, say for example, you're a couple, you want to go away for a weekend, go camping, get out a bit. Look what this car can do. Pop off the headrest, tilt the seat back, and you've got a double bed. Thanks for watching.